What's up, Dreamer Tribe? What's up, world? I am Bianca, and this is my review for Image & Form's newest game, SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamech. Card games. They're really not for everybody. They're as niche goes. So what happens when you merge traditional RPG elements with that of a card game and then season that with a humorous mix of fantasy and steampunk peppered with characters with varying degrees of attitude and quirks? In a nutshell, you get Image & Form Games' newest installment to their ever-growing library of exceptional games under the SteamWorld banner. In SteamWorld Hand of Gilgamech, we follow the story of Armely, who for some reason prior to being confirmed in one of the cutscenes, I actually thought was a dude. Sorry, Armely. Armely wants real badly to become a part of the Heroes Guild, often envisioning herself as a hero much like her idol Gilgamech. She gets her chance to prove how heroic she can be when her village is attacked. Together with her friends, the alchemist Copernica and the craftsman Galileo, the trio embarks on an epic journey to get to the bottom of all the mysteries thrown their way following the demise of the village of Goosebucket, during which they meet a wide array of colorful characters and form new bonds with fellow adventurers while taking down monsters and dragons along the way. The game is divided into a total of 20 chapters, and each chapter allows you to traverse and explore an area. Each area has their own set of enemies, as well as treasure chests, some hidden, others in plain sight, as well as the occasional Easter egg from the other games. Completionists will find it easy to see if they missed something, as each chapter have their own completion rate that can be viewed easily on the chapter selection screen. Of course, finding out what you've missed, especially hidden chests, isn't really that easy, especially on some of the game's chapters. Though Armely is the heroine of the story, you're not confined to controlling just her as you explore the area of whatever chapter you might be on. You can choose to control any of our heroes you have already unlocked. Hitting or being hit by enemies on the screen forces you to do battle with them. And it is in these battles where we get the taste of the card game aspect that makes SteamWorld Quest: Hand of Gilgamech what it is. Battles are played in rounds, and each round you are given a hand of cards totaling 6. What cards you get are random, though in the event that you do not like the cards dealt to you, you can opt to discard them. Discarding cards are limited to 2 cards per turn, though that limit grows as your character does or as your equipment and deck becomes better. The battle also runs in a turn-based system. You get to choose which cards you would want to play. Playing 3 cards from the same character grants you with a bonus special attack from whatever character that may be. These special attacks are determined by your equipment, which is something you can obtain through purchase or through the multitude of chests scattered throughout the game. You can also use items during your turn, though they do take up 1 action of the total of 3 that you can make. Winning battles naturally awards your characters with experience points, and every time you level up, you get an increase in 1 stat. Irregardless of whether you use a character in a battle or not, all of them receive, all the characters you've unlocked, they receive experience points after each battle. You're also given items at the end of each battle. These items range from usable healing items to ingredients you can use on the mysterious wandering merchant's shop. As for expanding your deck, for there are hundreds of hand-drawn cards in this game for you to collect, you can obtain them through the use of the mysterious wandering merchant, where you can buy, craft, and upgrade cards, or through cutscenes and object interactions throughout the game. Sometimes battles also award you with additional cards. Despite the vast array of cards you can obtain, you can only equip 8 cards per character, so you would have to think good and hard and plan ahead on which you would like to use. Tactics play a deep role in this role-playing game, as does luck, since whatever cards you get to start off with in each battle is determined by it. There are also many other features in the game, such as a compendium where you can view tutorials and review the basics of the game, a bestiary that lists all the enemies you have encountered thus far and see their strengths and weaknesses, and the world map, which you can use to view all the locations you have unlocked and the individual map for each of those areas. It's useful if you wish to check which places you haven't thoroughly explored yet. When you get further into the game, you get to unlock the Colosseum, where you can face against tougher enemies in the form of challenges. Winning these challenges awards you not just with gold, but with equipment, healing items, and crafting ingredients. Each challenge is different, but there is one thing they have in common, and that is that each of them have 5 consecutive battles that you need to win. Not all challenges are unlocked immediately after gaining entrance to the Colosseum, however. You have to beat the lower tiered challenges first in order to unlock the higher level ones, with the latter awarding winners with better loot. Story-wise, there is much to say about this game, but for the sake of keeping things a mystery for now, all I can say is this. SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamech is a game that is rich with story and lore and history, oozing with mystery that gets deeper and deeper and more cryptic as the game progresses, with the endgame delivering quite a satisfying finale. It is also a game filled with the staple humor that is ingrained into the core of the series. Having said that, there are also moments of wonderful character development that can, at times, tug at your heartstrings, and during others, leave you in stitches. Overall, SteamWorld Quest Hands of Gilgamech is a wonderful love letter from Image and Form Games to their fans, packed with everything that made all their games lovable and memorable. The hand-drawn graphics is beautiful and a sight to behold. Even the cards, minimalistic looking as most of them are splendidly designed, and it makes me want to have an actual physical card game on which those cards can be used. The music and tone varies from one location to the next. That, combined with the graphics from various places in the game, gives you a good sense of their geographic features and their uniqueness from one another. With all that said, I'm giving SteamWorld Quest Hands of Gilgamech its amply deserved 100% VM Studios seal of approval, along with 2 thumbs up. This is a game that is certifiably fresh and one Nintendo Switch owners shouldn't miss. Whether you're an avid fan of the series or if this is your first foray into the wonderful and unconventional fantasy steampunk world of SteamWorld, this is a game for all ages and one built with so much love and respect for the fans of the series without alienating those who may not be familiar with its overall history. And that about wraps up my review. Thank you all for watching. So, will you guys be purchasing SteamWorld Quest Hands of Gilgamech when it comes out on the 25th? Tell me on the comment section below, and as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, you guys know the drill. Dream on, fly on. Bye-bye now! What's up, Dreamer Tribe? What's up, world? I am Bianca, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed the content of this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button to let me know. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, and you want to be a part of the Dreamer Tribe, just hit on that subscribe button. We also have tons of different content here on my channel, so be sure to check those out. Until the next video, dream on, fly on.